Hi, everybody. I'm Matt with K15T, and I'm here with Jefferson Taylor, the head of product for Confluence.
Hello there. Glad to be here, Matt.
Jefferson, we are in the Teamwork Collection booth representing these fine apps.
Yes.
Are we allowed to talk about just Confluence anymore, or how do I think about Confluence now?
Yeah,
the Teamwork Collection.
It's a great question. So the way I think about Atlassian and our customer base overall is Atlassian has a strong core belief that the future of collaboration is powered by Teamwork Collection. That said, we all recognize that many of our customers use our different products in different ways. And so the reality is there are some Jira-only customers. There's some Confluence-only customers. There's some Loom-only customers. But over time, we think, and I hope you and the rest of our customer base will agree, that really collaboration is best when you have these three applications, plus, of course, Rovo horizontally across, powering the teamwork across your entire team, meaning your entire company.
Interesting. So during the conference and continually throughout the year, we're constantly hearing about new Confluence features.
Yes.
Right? And of course, Jira, Loom, these are also getting improvements over time as well. When the teams are thinking about feature development, are you thinking about, hey, this would be cool for Confluence? Or because you're looking at the Teamwork Collection, and I know Sanchen, who spoke during the founders keynote yesterday, is sort of overseeing product here. Are you thinking about features differently now that you've kind of acknowledged these are a very tight-knit group of apps? Has that changed the way you think about product?
Great question. In short, I would say it's massively changed. How's it massively changed? Every single major investment we make has the lens of Teamwork Collection first. Let's take my personal favorite feature, Create with Rovo, which we announced yesterday at the founder keynote, which is essentially how do you start with truly AI native creation inside of Confluence? What we didn't talk about is the way that we built that has been with a platform and Rovo first lens, meaning what you see now in Confluence will eventually go to Jira. It will go to Loom. It will go to every single one of Atlassian's apps. And so how we build, what we build, whether or not we communicated at the time, always in the back of our minds is how does this unite together? Because we know that our customers are going to use these products and these apps all together. And frankly, we want them to have a unified experience wherever possible, because that's how they have the true unlock of value.
I think some people are feeling pain right now because the end of data center has been announced. Some of us have felt the vibes. We've kind of known it was coming, but it's happening. But you mentioned the power of platform building. And to me, I started to see that when the team was working on automation. Started with automation with Jira and then automation for Confluence. It was originally just an acquisition, and then slowly it's become the heart of Studio, which was talked about yesterday. And I would be remiss to not think of the platform apps that now come to everyone using Atlassian. And in particular, I think of Assets, which was talked a lot about yesterday.
Yes.
Assets being elevated from the Jira level, the Jira Service Desk level, to a new app that's available to everyone. So while this isn't in Confluence or in the Teamwork Collection, this is platform. So how, as a Confluence user or a user of the Teamwork Collection, how do I think of something like Assets that now spans everything and is connected together with the Teamwork Graph and Rovo?
Oh man, Matt, you're hitting on all the key points here. So where I would probably start is your first point of data center end of life, and then I'll sort of come to this platform app question. So first of all, I want to acknowledge data center has powered collaboration for many of our customers. I talked to a customer yesterday. They are currently on data center. They are making plans to migrate to cloud before the data center end of life date. And there have been people who have built a wonderful wall-to-wall collaboration tool since 2008. And so the amount of customization that they have, the amount of richness that they have in their collaboration, absolutely incredible.
That hurts. Like,
it hurts.
Like, I know for some of us, it's like, no big deal. But like some people, their whole career has been building that thing.
It hurts.
Yeah. And they haven't had a team building a platform.
Yeah.
They've been building their own.
They build their own bespoke solution.
Yeah.
I think what's so powerful about the cloud, though, is it's even more than just the platform apps. But Atlassian has invested so much in our platform such that whenever you buy Confluence, Jira, Teamwork Collection as a whole, Service Collection, any of those things, your ability to access all of these pieces truly unlocks something special. Because what it does is it ties together all your different apps. And this points to very much first-party apps, but it also ties together third-party apps with things like third-party connectors that bring your third-party data into the search product. It's stuff like, hey, how do we bring in smart links and allow you to have real-time windows into your other collaboration tools? The power of platform here is all about unifying things and making things, frankly, so much easier. Now, you might ask, but don't we lose some of that customizability?
I can't fiddle with the JavaScript anymore, man. What?
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
And what I would say to that is, Forge is a huge area of investment for us and a huge unlock that not only are our marketplace developers building on top of, as you well know, but we are also seeing customers repeatedly building on top of that. And with what we announced yesterday in terms of Studio, I've never been more excited about the ability of customers to go and build their own apps and build their own customizations with, frankly, way less work than they would have had to do on Data Center.
I'm very excited about the building potential. A personal thought.
Mm-hmm.
Leaders need to give people time to build.
Yes.
If we're like, okay, you can build, you can automate, you got AI, cool, but I don't have all day to make prompts currently. I don't have all day to build something in Studio. So there's like psychological shifts that need to happen. I mean, we just talked about the loss of Data Center. Like, people are in the grieving process, right? There are some things that people built that they're losing, like personal things, especially as a creative. You put your heart and soul into it. You've been through the grinder trying to create a thing.
Yep.
And now it's like, we have to figure this out. So some people are doing a shift like that. Other people are doing a shift toward platform thinking. I think there is so much change and uncertainty, and we do get scared.
Yep.
So speaking of change and uncertainty, Atlassian be buying. Am I right?
Yeah.
We heard about DX, which I'm not an engineer, but like, that's a thing.
Yes, it is.
We also recently heard about the potential, not approved currently, but hopefully in the future, don't make any investments based on current state.
Yeah.
The acquisition of the New York browser company.
Yes.
Now, I would love to sit here and put the tax to you on like all the things I want to know that Confluence is going to be able to do with Dia. But does this, the potential acquisition and addition of a browser to the Atlassian platform, does that affect the way you might imagine product features in the future?
Yeah, so a couple of things to unpack here. I think thing one to unpack is we're entering the age of builders. And what I mean by that is AI enables anyone to be a builder. Previously, it was actually a pretty small percentage of anyone's organization that was actually able to go and build things. And so the first thing I would say is, at the moment of this paradigm platform shift type of wave, you're seeing a couple of things happen. One is building gets democratized across the entire company. The second thing is we believe that browsers are a fundamental platform shift in the same way that mobile was, in the same way that the desktop was. And when you own something like the browser, what it unlocks for you is the ability to work across all your applications and unify knowledge and action across all your applications in a way that, frankly, we haven't really seen before. I think it is the dream of what, say, Microsoft aimed to do with the PC. It's the dream of what Apple aimed to do with the iPhone. But when you look at AI embedded into the browser as the critical surface for work in the future, what that does is, you want to talk about platform layer, that is the ultimate platform layer to be able to see work transform and to be able to target how knowledge workers work. And something about the Browser Company of New York is they're very, very specifically targeting not your everyday consumer, not someone browsing to shop. They are targeting to make teams work better. And so because of that very specific focus, I'm thrilled about all of the ways that Confluence is going to be able to plug into that. For me, I think of having Dia operate across all your products. Confluence is always aimed to be the home for your knowledge. But the thing about being the home for knowledge is you can never really contain everything that a company has.
Yeah.
And so the Browser Company and what they're able to do enables us to centralize that increasingly more and help users work across tools increasingly more in a way that we would not have been able to do ourselves.
I think it's really amazing to see, in some ways, since the invention of the browser, a lot of tech keeps coming back to the browser.
Yep.
When the iPhone was announced, they said, third-party apps, web apps. When Palm OS was announced, which was a major deal, design-wise, all of our modern mobile operating systems are based on Palm OS.
Yep.
Hot take, but not that hot take.
Yeah.
It was all HTML apps, right? Chrome OS was announced by Sundar Pichai, and everyone's like, why would you want a whole laptop that's just a browser, right? Chromium project, just over and over. Web 2.0. The thought of doing a video call in the browser is insane, right? Or it was insane at some point, and now it's like, it doesn't work in a browser. Like, what?
Yeah.
It keeps coming back to the browser, and now we're like in the AI era, and here we are at the browser once again. So I'm very excited. We could keep making all sorts of crazy or just out there statements, but let's talk a little bit closer to home.
Yes.
Let's talk about Rovo.
Let's talk about Rovo.
So you talked about Create.
Yes.
Which is a really incredible experience. And one of the things I think is awesome about these new Rovo experiences for Confluence is I'm starting to see what I feel like is co-creation.
Yes.
So with Create, I can start with a prompt, make me a page, make it look like this, put this kind of content in it, or help me with this. I'm seeing a little bit of formatting help. Would love to see more of that.
Yeah.
A lot more of that.
Yeah.
And I feel it fixes for me what has been missing with just a prompt, which is there's this element of trust. It's like working with a coworker and being like, hey, what if we do this? And then it shows me. And what if we change this? And then it shows me. And I feel like it is a teammate rather than black box instruction. What do I get?
Yep.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. Do I prompt it again, or do I go on with what I'm used to doing?
Yeah.
So that type of co-creation, I'm seeing that in the Create experience. I'm seeing that in the new Rovo interface when you're working in Pages and Live Docs.
Yeah.
Is that going to be the new way or the common way we work with Rovo across the platform?
Yeah, so I think a number of things to unpack here. Very heady questions
When I
here.
travel, I bring a luggage. All right?
Yeah,
So here it is.
We're really unpacking. So where I would start is, we have a core belief that in Confluence and the rest of our platform as well for creation, powered by the editor, the Atlassian editor, humans will never create alone 3 years from now. And what that means is AI will always be your teammate. That is a massive shift from person in a room by themselves, heads down, having to do it all themselves. And so teamwork...
I can assign work items
Absolutely.
to Rovo now.
Absolutely.
Like, what?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so teamwork increasingly is going to be about not just human-to-human collaboration, but human-to-AI collaboration and eventually human to multiple AI collaboration. So that's sort of prong one of what you see here. Prong two is we're at the very, very beginnings of how AI will manifest in helping humans create. Today, it's primarily chat-based. And just to be clear, chat is not going anywhere.
Sure.
But
sure.
Do you remember the command line interface? That is the equivalent of where we are, right? Is we're at the command line interface layer.
Well, Jefferson, some of us love our command lines.
Yes, and they're not going away.
It's true.
They're not going away.
They're getting better.
They're getting better.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened is UI grew up around that to anticipate what are the most common actions. Your PC actually became, even before actual artificial intelligence, it became algorithmically intelligent, by which I mean it could anticipate certain common actions that you might need based on past behavior and surface them in the right way to you. And I think we're going to see AI in creation follow a very similar trajectory, where today it has to be super intentional and you have to be super specific with prompts. In the future, the next iteration of that looks more like UI that has buttons with it. It looks more like someone who's a teammate proactively suggesting edits to you. So the degree to which AI is going to be both proactive and easy to access without having to write a prompt is going to be 10x in the future. And that's where we're going to see a lot of the AI innovation is actually at the experience layer, not necessarily the technical or the model layer, although that will continue to advance too.
I love that. I love that. There has been sort of a need to shift.
Yes.
Talk to me about mobile.
Mobile.
So
love it.
I get this vibe that Sanchen is pretty crazy about mobile.
Yes.
Okay, he talked to me, or he talked on stage about listening to Confluence content using briefings. These audio summaries of the content that in the past I've been reading. Yes. And if I think about the Teamwork Collection, Loom, Jira, Confluence, all of those have mobile apps.
Yes.
I heard about Rovo coming to mobile. I heard about whiteboards coming to mobile. I heard about live docs coming to mobile. Databases maybe someday. Is there a greater focus on the mobile apps in the Teamwork Collection than we've seen in the past? Because I have an iPad Pro.
Yep.
And sometimes that Confluence mobile app breaks my heart.
I think it's a great question. So mobile is absolutely an increasing strategic focus for not just Confluence, but also all of Atlassian.
Okay.
Why is that? It's actually very closely tied to the AI story. And so if you think about how mobile has risen in the past, it's been around a couple of things, primarily sort of real-time or semi-synchronous collaboration like Slack, very dominant on mobile. It's been consumer apps, very dominant on mobile.
Yeah.
But where you've seen it a little bit less is something like a knowledge base, which Confluence has historically been. What is the unlock with AI? Well, what AI enables you to do is it enables you to consume information with audio. So to be able to create your own topic-based podcasts, to be able to queue those up and listen to those in order on the go. That is very much the future of knowledge consumption is going to be very, very heavily audio. Now, let me ask you, Matt, would you rather sit at your PC and consume audio that way, or would you rather go for a walk and listen to it on your mobile?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say go for a walk.
Yeah, you're gonna go for a walk, right? Mm-hmm. And so because of that shift of audio actually being a viable way to consume information, it makes mobile much more important. Now, the other side, creation. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Today, how do you create? You sit down at your laptop and you type something out with your keyboard. Are you going to type a 10-minute read on your mobile?
Please don't make me. Please don't make
nope.
me.
Nope.
I don't want to do that.
No.
Yeah.
But how do humans traditionally, look way back? How do they communicate their ideas?
Yeah, we're storytellers.
They speak.
Yeah.
They're storytellers.
Yeah.
They speak it. The keyboard is relatively new in human history, right? And so what AI has unlocked is the ability to not just do dictation, which has been around for a while, but for AI to intelligently understand what is behind the ideas you're communicating, to synthesize and pull those together into a written record. And again, what is a great interface for that? Mobile.
Yeah.
It turns out.
It's in your hand.
It's in your hand. It's right there.
Yeah, it's in your ears.
It's optimized for both of those modalities. And so mobile will be incredibly important as we talk about this paradigm shift towards audio-based consumption and voice-based creation.
So are we talking about a future where at some point I'm on the subway, I'm on my way in, and I can get a full-on teamwork collection interaction with Rovo, where I'm hearing about important knowledge I should know from the people working across the globe. I'm hearing about work items I need to address.
Yep.
I'm getting recommendations on changes that need to be made. I'm getting thoughts on, hey, you should probably record this loom here now because you have the time. Like, are we talking about the kinds of connections and experiences where I'm starting to interact with our knowledge and our work in a very natural and humanistic way without looking at a UI, without talking, or without pulling out my laptop on the train?
The answer is yes. Yeah. The answer is absolutely yes.
Yes.
And as we talked about before, the way we're approaching these is very much platform and Rovo first. And so what you'll see as an increasing pattern is stuff is going to come to Confluence first or Jira first, but that's not where it's going to end. And so in the next 6 months at the absolute outside, but before that, realistically, you're going to see that exact ability that you described of, let me listen to a podcast on the Confluence mobile app that ingests everything about a page, including the looms that it links to, the Jira work items that are included, everything about it. You're going to see that ability on your mobile within the next 6 months for Confluence Mobile.
Okay.
And you will see that go across the platform over time.
Okay. So this is where things like knowledge graph start to really speak to me, because I'm like, oh. If I connect all of my tools to the knowledge graph, and then I'm seeing Rovo bringing these things together, I'm seeing side panels, which was a simple concept introduced where I'm using Confluence and I'm looking at a work item or a loom or whatever. These experiences where I start to see my tools and my knowledge come together, and the thought of this could be part of a briefing. This could be part of a conversation at some point. This kind of blows my mind a little bit. Talk to me about skills.
Yes.
I talked a lot about Rovo skills, and I think Rovo skills are so exciting because some of this has existed in automation.
Yes.
Kind of. But now I can go shopping for skills, and I can find skills where Rovo can do stuff in all my things.
Yes.
The one that blew my mind was send it in Gmail. I was like, that's it. It can get the knowledge, listen to the loom, summarize the thing, grab the work items, and then send it in Gmail. I'm like, thank God. How do you think these sorts of things are going to change the way people interact with Atlassian apps, with marketplace apps, with third-party apps that are connected with connectors? Are we going to just stop looking at these things and we're just going to be working with Rovo or creating automations that do this stuff?
Yeah, it's a great question. So there's no question that the nature of UI is going to change. And I think skills are going to be a big part of that, because essentially what skills are is they're the building blocks of agents that do work for you. So it's the building blocks of agentic AI. And your ability to decompose that into individual skills that you can then compose however you want. You know, build your own or use out of the box.
Yeah.
Your ability to do that is going to ensure that how you construct workflows is dramatically different than what it is today, which is I go into UI X and do Y action. In the future, it is, well, I've assembled these skills together. AI and Rovo is going to do all of that on my behalf. And so it's an incredibly powerful unlock for the ability to abstract away a lot of the complexity in our day-to-day work lives and just allow Rovo to do it for us.
Yeah.
And of course, as you referenced at the very beginning, this is all built on the teamwork graph. which fundamentally is arguably Atlassian's at least one of our most differentiated points.
Yeah, was it 100 billion data objects that was on screen? I was just like, 100 billion? I cannot fathom what that means.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is I don't have to.
Yeah.
We have the tech now with Rovo, with these connectors, with these skills where it's like, I can just make a thing that does a thing.
Yeah.
So talk to me about, I mentioned earlier, I think we have these building tools. We have really amazing things like the editor and Confluence. We have Rovo.
Yep.
We have these experiences where I need some time to play around with this. I need some time to feel safe in this.
Yep.
There's an element of psychological safety that comes with picking up something new, changing my workflow, trying to find the time.
Yep.
My manager's a micromanager. How do I jump into the teamwork collection when our culture is, but at the end of the week, I need to give a keynote.
Yeah.
Or I have a micromanager who's going to jump, that I'm afraid is going to jump into every live doc I'm working in and judge the fact that my creative process is a mess.
Yep.
Or maybe I'm a leader and I'm like, I don't want people to see that I'm asking Rovo to show me company information that might demonstrate that I don't know everything. Or I don't have it all under control. Because like leaders, we don't.
Yeah.
Like what do we do there? These are amazing experiences. How do we go from this locked up type fear mentality to like, hey, we're kids on the playground. We got all these new tools. We're trading cards. We're building things. We're talking about cool stuff. And there's an element of safety around, hey, I took time out of my day and I made an agent with skills. Or I figured out how to use the Confluence editor finally. Like I found presentation mode in Confluence.
Yeah.
Like these things. How do you build a culture that enables people at a more traditional organization to play and to discover? Because that's what it takes to be a builder. How do we do that?
So let me tell you one thing that's not going to change in the age of AI. And it is this, decades old phrase at this point, which is culture eats strategy for breakfast.
Yeah.
And, to me, what that says is no matter what tools you have, no matter what advantages your business has, ultimately it's going to come back to culture. And I think what we're seeing in the age of AI is that certain cultures are going to have advantages over others. And what I mean by that is cultures that are more open and allow more of their information and knowledge to be democratized are fundamentally going to be smarter. Because what is Rovo or what is any AI fundamentally? It is the collective of all an organization's knowledge.
True.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
That is what it is fundamentally. And so the more open a culture is, the more intelligent your tools will be, the more effective people are working together.
So what you're saying is AI will not fix bad culture.
It will not. It will not.
I thought we did it. I thought I could still have my bad habits and treat humans poorly and not trust them. I was hoping AI would fix that, but it's not going to fix that, huh?
It will not. And in fact, I think you can actually look at things like the rise of these prototyping tools like Bolt, Lovable, Replit. Lovable was just at our booth and was on stage with us yesterday at the Super Session. These are speaking to the fact that an experimentation-driven culture and an action-driven culture is more necessary than ever before. Do it in the age of AI because AI enables you to do things much more than you would have been able to before.
Coming back to the teamwork collection, thinking less about AI, perhaps, for a moment, but not really. Connections between app experiences. I think of Loom, which we've seen Loom meeting notes in the past, but now we're seeing in the Loom app, I can be on a video call. Loom is recording that call. Loom is transcribing that call. Loom is taking notes in a Confluence page on the Loom app on my desktop of that call, and I am co-taking notes in that experience. These sorts of co-creation experiences and the fact that, for example, Jira just the terminology now is spaces.
Yep.
That means Confluence has spaces, Loom has spaces, Jira has spaces. Are these sort of unification of the different apps? Does that tell us this is all going to be one app? Or is this a new way of thinking about how apps work together and how you build connected experiences? Because it used to be, if I wanted to use Loom with Confluence, there were very few options.
Yep.
And now I'm seeing this interwovenness. If I'm just a Confluence person, I feel like I need to now be a Loom person.
Yep.
Is that on purpose? It seems like it's on purpose.
It's on purpose. And if you ask our chief design officer, Charlie Sutton, he uses the phrase that all of our apps should feel made with one hand. And I find that incredibly profound when it comes to thinking about shared interwoven UI that fundamentally makes it feel more like you're switching from one interface to another and not like you're going to a completely different destination. So that's layer one, is you are going to see that sharing of UI, whether it's, the navigation, which recently has very much united Jira and Confluence, and I know you're very familiar with. Very, very familiar. That's just sort of layer one, though. Layer two is thinking of things like Loom. What is a Loom fundamentally? To me, it's a spoken and recorded form of knowledge. Is it that different from a page, I would ask you? To me, not really. It is a different way to communicate your ideas. And over the longer term, I would expect to see just as many Looms inside the Confluence content tree as pages.
I hope so.
And live docs and whiteboards.
Yeah.
And so what we're getting to is actually something pretty profound, which is, Looms are just a different way of communicating knowledge. And fundamentally, then, it should have a ton of shared interfaces and interlocks with Confluence. And it actually shouldn't really feel that different, except insofar as it needs to be to accomplish that spoken, recorded version of the job to be done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, speaking of interfaces, user experience has grown beyond what we see. And for many, though, that's always been the case.
Yep.
People with disabilities have never seen the UI.
Yep.
And yet, accessibility continues to be more and more and more important.
Yep.
It's really important to us at K15T as we have tools that publish content. We want to make sure that content's accessible.
Yep.
So as the team is building more and more things, how do you make sure that these visual experiences, mobile experiences, audio experiences, Rovo interaction experiences, even, the automations that are happening in the background.
Yep.
How do you make sure all of these experiences are accessible to everybody who is interacting?
Yep. It's a great question. So first of all, our accessibility standards are incredibly high.
Okay.
Any new UI that we build, we look at through the lens of, is this accessible? And if it's not, we do not ship it. And so that means things like color choices. It means things like having alternate text, all of those things.
Yeah.
So that to me is just core basic to what it means to ship a great product today, is it must be accessible. Let's go back to the audio and voice points that we talked about before.
Yeah. If I'm nonverbal, interacting with voice is a different experience. If I'm deaf, hearing a briefing is different. So where's my text version of that?
Yeah.
How are you making those decisions?
So I think what we're headed towards is an infinitely flexible future where you can pick your own adventure. It's either typed or it's spoken. It's either text that you can read or it's something you can listen to, right? And so if you think about audio, we today, very, very close to today, are going to be shipping page generation. And so the ability to have a page read to you natively in Confluence is not something that we've had before, right?
Yeah.
And that ability, that's a huge unlock for accessibility.
Yeah.
And so, again, you're hearing AI from me, and Rovo.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, you would be shocked.
Let me feign I'm surprised.
Yeah. But that actually has huge benefits for accessibility as well.
For sure. So, welcome to the K15T booth.
Love being here.
Oh my God, it's busy.
It is.
So talk to me about apps, because apps traditionally, or name-wise, that's been a marketplace thing.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, Confluence, you get Teamwork Collection, people are horning in on our terminology here. We used to be called something else, so terminology is fun. But with a real focus on Forge as a platform, which we've talked about how important platforms are, Forge is helping elevate and kind of equalize all apps.
Yes.
To the point where we have Confluence working next to scroll sites, working next to Jira, working next to a completely Forge native app that doesn't maybe even interact directly with a Confluence or a Jira.
Yep.
How does that change how you envision Confluence users, as an example, are going to pick out solutions for their teams? Like, do I go get a CRM that's third party, or do I expect that somebody's going to build a CRM that's on the Atlassian platform?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, couple of things there. I think increasingly, everything is an app, and it's just a question of, is it an Atlassian app? Is it a marketplace app? Is it a custom-built app that company, that customer has created for themselves? Those things are going to be increasingly interchangeable in a Forge-based world. And you see us, Atlassian, building many aspects of our own apps, whether that's Confluence or Jira or other, on the Atlassian Forge platform.
That's nice. That's nice to hear.
And because ultimately there are benefits for us just as much as there are benefits for marketplace partners or customers. And so I think what you're going to see is a couple of things. One is it's going to become easier for customers to integrate and use all these different things together because there's largely parity.
Yeah.
Thing two you're going to see is you're absolutely going to see the rise of the ability for customers to build what makes sense for them on the Atlassian platform and not always have to, pick another third-party tool from elsewhere. The last piece of that, though, is fundamentally, I don't think software as an industry is going anywhere. I think there's been a lot said about, can we just vibe code this?
Yeah,
and it's
I'm going to vibe code it and AI it and boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
I'll tell you, fundamentally, I don't believe it. I think that part of the, AI revolution, yes, it is an unlock, but these customers exist to serve a certain business purpose, and that business purpose is not building homegrown apps for themselves. That is not their main business. And so that's never where they're going to place their bets. And, I think we'll continue to see customers continue to choose best-of-breed vendors, whether it's Atlassian, whether it's our marketplace partners, or whether it's other third parties for many, many, many of their needs.
Yeah. And there's a difference between, I just vibe coded this thing, and we have a team of software architects.
Yeah.
Turns out it's called computer science for a reason. It's a whole specialization.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Oh my God. I have a t-shirt for you.
Yes.
You don't have to hold it now. I'll keep it here. It's probably a little sweaty. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But, it smells like team spirit.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you a question for those of us who love the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Because some of us are like, but not AI.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about loose ends. So for an example, or some examples, in Confluence, I have variables in my workflow.
Yep.
And I have variables in my page template. And they don't connect, Jefferson. They don't connect. I have assets. I have Confluence databases. They don't connect.
Yep.
What's another example? Features have been released without APIs. They can't be interfaced. They don't work with my marketplace apps.
Yep.
Is the Confluence team just moving so fast with new features and AI that are you forgetting about these things? Are you forgetting to connect it up? Like, I'm seeing a cool connection with Loom.
Yep.
And this is amazing. But then I'm like, but variables, Jefferson.
Yeah.
They're called the same thing.
Yeah.
What could I do if I could make something from a template and bring those variables the rest of the way?
Yep.
With an AI-powered workflow.
Yep.
But they're not connected. How does the team handle these things? Do they just go into tech debt hell and we never see them again? Is there a team that's looking at this?
So, to your specific question, I would say all things are a matter of time. And
that's such a diplomatic answer, Jefferson.
All things are a matter of time. And
and the product manager award goes to
thank you.
Jefferson.
Thank you. I'll do my acceptance speech.
That is so good.
Yeah.
Well done. Okay, continue.
All things are a matter of time. And it's just a matter of sequencing, right? Which is the constant battle of a product manager is how do we ship things in the right sequence that provide the maximum benefit to our customers over time? You're absolutely right. I'll take databases as a great example where I'll be self-critical. We should have APIs for databases at this point, and we don't. And that's largely been because we had to make the very tough trade-off of, do we invest in things like create with Rovo with our database team, where what you'll see is the ability to use natural language to create those databases?
Yeah.
Or do we build APIs? And we had to make a really hard trade-off call. But is that a permanent trade-off call? No, that is a sequencing trade-off call.
Right.
And we will stake in the ground. We will have APIs for databases.
Yeah. Also, you're living in platform land now.
Yeah.
When you commit to a public API, it's a massive deal.
It is.
It's a massive deal because
it is.
If you ever have to change that, and you have, it breaks a lot of hearts. It's a lot of work for people who have to switch to APIs. So it's a big deal. And with platform, it's a bigger deal.
Yes.
And it's really nice to see the team thinking more deeply about platform with things like assets, with things like automation, with things like Studio, with things like Rovo. So we get it. What about, I've kind of gotten this vibe as a longtime user of Confluence and a longtime user of cloud and data center, that it seems like Confluence in particular is getting a bit more love and care. It kind of felt a little aimless, kind of felt a little not cared for. Do you care about Confluence?
I love Confluence.
I feel like you do.
Confluence is my favorite product of all time. And I'm not saying that because I'm the head of product for Confluence. I'm saying that because Confluence uniquely, among any other product in the industry, can democratize knowledge. Mm-hmm. The fact that it is open by default, that it has so many different ways to collaborate and communicate, the fact that it is so closely tied to your work at Jira, Confluence is a snowflake. It's unique.
I think that's why I care about the people who use Confluence because I think they're the real doers.
Yes.
They're doing stuff. And not that people aren't doing stuff with Jira as an example, but that's where we're planning the doing, or that's where we're reviewing the do. But it's a lot of it is just happening in Confluence or around Confluence. And Loom is feeding right into Confluence as well, bringing our meetings and everything.
Yep.
It's this very symbolic place of stuff's happening here.
Yep.
What would you say to someone who doesn't see Confluence that the way? For the people that see Confluence as it's just the place where I go to read.
Yep.
Or it's just the place where I go to dump a file.
Mm-hmm.
How do you change someone's perspective to, no, it's this place, it's this AI-powered collaboration spot? How would you change someone's mind?
I would show them the art of the possible and what Confluence can do for them. And let's be clear, Confluence has come a long way relative to 12, 24, 36 months ago.
Uh-huh.
It is a dramatically different product. You can collaborate live with live docs. That's relatively new.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm like, yes, this is it. This is what I want. I love that submit button when I need it on a page, but I don't need it often.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And so you show people everything that Confluence can do for them, the entire spectrum from I'm in a document collaborating with AI, I'm in a document collaborating with a team member, to I actually need a final versioned source of truth
Yep.
with a published page to, well, I need to ideate using
my God,
whiteboards and AI. And by the way, then I need to actually turn it into work items that happen in Jira.
Yeah.
And then I need to connect those work items to one another without ever leaving the whiteboard. To me, whenever I show customers many of these things, their eyes light up and they say, you've transformed the way that I think about how we can use Confluence and how our organization works. And what that comes down to is we, Confluence and Atlassian, need to ensure that we're doing a great job of bringing our customers along the journey that we're going on as a product, as Teamwork Collection, as a company. Because fundamentally, these apps, and especially these apps in cloud, can do dramatically different things than what was possible on data center or even on cloud, again, 2 to 3 years ago.
Shift focus with me. We've talked a lot about product, which is awesome. But in some ways, that's the end of the line for people. It begins with, I have a thing I care about. And I want to do that thing that I care about. What would you say, like, how am I going to do the stuff I care about in the future? Am I going to be, what do you just like envision? How would you do what we're doing today, but in 10 years? What do you think? Jetsons, flying cars, just crazy.
Yeah. I think a couple of things. The world is going to be dramatically different. There's no question. Mm-hmm. There are going to be human and agent teams in a way that there are not today. AI is going to do a lot of the work. Even if you're, let's say, a new college grad, you are going to be looking at work very, very differently. You're going to have augmentation and additional horsepower out of the gates that today new grads don't have.
Yeah.
You're going to be effectively a manager, not of people, but you're going to be a manager the second you hit the workforce if you're a new grad. So there are going to be many things that are different.
That's crazy to think. Yeah.
But I actually think people will also be surprised by how much is not different. And what I mean by that is, are people still going to create ideation and knowledge? Yes. Mm-hmm. Are they still going to have a way to organize that and make that discoverable and findable? Yes. Are they still going to have a way to consume the most important points of that knowledge and find exactly what they're working for? Yes. And so the way that those things come forward is going to be different. You know, maybe it looks like an audio summary, maybe it looks like a conversation with an expert, for example, in consuming knowledge. But the underlying human needs, in my view, are not going to change with AI. And so there will be a lot that is different as far as how those manifest, how teams work together. But the fact that you need that human connection and you need those things to be done, not going to change.
We still need humans. We still need knowledge.
Yep.
We still need those to come together where they're needed, when they're needed.
Yep.
And the amount of knowledge, hopefully, will continue to increase in the world and in our companies and in our families and wherever that knowledge goes, either to grow or to continue.
Yep.
But there's going to be, hopefully, better and better ways to access it so that we can have this shared human experience that has been around forever. I would love to experience fewer computer screens and more conversations. That'd be pretty cool. It's funny that, you know, computer science in some ways has gone from like, well, people who just want to have a conversation, and then we had to learn to use the command line, and then we had to use a search box. And we've taught ourselves to work in operations, and now we're kind of a little bit getting back to conversation finally. We're conversing with computers. This is crazy. This is crazy stuff.
I think that's right. The other thing to that point is I think what you're going to see is AI helping with the transformation of ideas and content. And what I mean by that is, so we're going to finish this conversation.
Let's do it.
You're going to have it be a probably video of some sort. You're going to post it on your LinkedIn. I'm going to have to think about what are the points that I want to cover as a part of my LinkedIn post associated with this video.
Okay.
In the future, AI will just say for me, here are the big takeaways based on that video. Or let's say we have a meeting brainstorming about something. There's going to be no friction transforming those ideas into a slide deck or into a page or a live doc. No friction whatsoever. AI will do that transformation from spoken conversation to polished set of ideas that are written down for me. And so we're going to be freed up to do a lot more thinking and a lot less transforming or doing the actual drudgery that's required to communicate our awesome ideas that we're coming up with together.
So we'll be doing less manual work and more philosophical work.
Yes, I think that's right.
And maybe more working in the garden and not reading Confluence pages because I'm just listening to the audio summary.
Well, pick your own adventure.
Jefferson, we've talked about a lot of little nitpicky things and a lot of really big things, and it seems like things in Confluence, things in the Teamwork Collection, things on the Atlassian platform, and most certainly things with Rovo are not slowing down.
They're speeding up.
Thank you so much for your time. This has been enlightening. I feel like my brain is so full. I'm going to need to listen to the audio summary of this later to try to recap on everything we talked about. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Matt. And, thank you to all of our customers and for you for being great partners to Confluence and Atlassian. Truly, Confluence is much better for having folks like K15T as our partners.
Stop. We do truly love the people who are trying to do and share what they do best with Confluence. So we're going to keep trucking. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks so much, Matt.